Hello and welcome to the She Is podcast. I am your host, Nicole Kristan, and I am so excited to be here. This has been such a long time coming. I think I've said to a couple different people now over the last yearish, maybe, that I wanted to start a podcast, and I stopped myself several times because I was like, I've never done that before. I don't know what I'm doing. Like all of these weird thoughts, right? But when you do something new, do you ever know what you're doing? Like, no. So, about a month ago, I just decided, I'm gonna do the thing. However, it ends up going is perfect and exactly how it needs to be. So, here we are, and I am thrilled about it. I'm so thrilled. The response that I've gotten, the women that have showed up to say yes to be guests, like my heart truly is exploding. So the podcast was really born out of my own life experience, mostly like anything I create and put out into the world is. So if you're new here and you don't know who I am, I ended up paralyzed when I was 14 with a spinal cord injury, C5, C6. It happened July 6th of 2014. My dad and I were out for a motorcycle ride going to a family friend's house. They weren't home, so naturally we decided to leave, and we ended up taking a different way home than we had come. And we were going around a curve, and there was loose gravel in the road, which we ended up hitting, and it was all downhill, quite literally, from there. When I tell this story, I always say that it was looking over at my dad in the ditch. It was like something you would have saw in a horror movie. He was blood from head to toe. It was disgusting. And he's fine. He's fine now. He had several broken bones, and and when I say just, I don't mean that it was like this small minor thing, right? But I just had the spinal cord injury. Like, I didn't have a scratch on my body. I just had the internal injuries. And so after coming home from the hospital, after spending, I think I spent 81 days in the hospital, but after coming home from those 81 days and coming home to a new life essentially, I felt very unseen, unheard, just very alone for several years afterwards. I felt very lost. I didn't really know who I was anymore. And so that is why I have created this podcast, why I have created She Is Experiences as a brand. I just think there's something so transformational that happens when you give people the space to show up exactly as who they are, to be seen, to be known, and to be heard. There's just something that happens that is so powerful in those few moments. And so The goal of the podcast is for people, women specifically, to be able to show up to share their stories, their life experiences, what have you, whatever that looks like for them, in order for you, our audience, our listeners, to feel less alone in whatever you might be going through or whatever you might go through down the road that might be similar to one of our guests. So yeah, I hope that when you show up in these spaces that I provide, I hope that you feel a sense of community, connection, and I just hope you feel so valued and so worthy, and know that what you're going through, what you have gone through, what you will go through, those things are not or don't have to be defining points, defining moments, right? They don't have to define who you are or what you do or where you go from here. You get, every moment is a new opportunity to choose differently, to quit settling for the shit you've been settling for that you don't even really like, you don't care for, right? So yeah, I hope that you enjoy every single guest that you listen to, and if you feel so inclined, so connected to them, please reach out, please find them. They have all been so lovely, like seriously the most kick-ass humans that I think I could ever possibly find to be guests and take up space on this platform. So anyways, have yourself a beautiful day.